Tomorrow's Torah portion talks about what happens when a woman is unfaithful to her husband, which of course is metaphoric because we know that we and Hashem have a relationship of husband and wife. So the errant wife is actually us. What happens when we lose our way? What happens when we lose our connection to God? What happens when we turn around, as unfortunately we see happening in the Jewish world, and we deny our connection to God? We deny our connection to God's land. We deny our connection to God's value system. What happens then? There's a process. The Torah tells us that there's a process that we have to go through. The man takes his wife and presents her in front of the Sanhedrin, the Supreme Court in Jerusalem. They give her this drink, which includes a piece of parchment with Hashem's name that is erased in order to try and see, perhaps there's a way that we could restore shalom bayis, connection between these two. And there's some very interesting observations by our sages. The first is that this would never happen if a person was thinking clearly. Any time that a person rejects their heritage, rejects their connection to God, rejects the values of Judaism, rejects the history of Judaism, that is what we call insanity. It's ruach shtus. Something has infected the person's thinking, which means we should actually feel empathetic, compassionate, sorry for the person. Can you imagine somebody who's caught up in such a bad headspace where they cannot actually think straight? Because we all have a soul. And our soul knows where we belong, and it knows the truth, and it understands the value of our Torah and of our holy land and of our connection to our fellow Jews. So anybody who loses sight of that, temporary insanity. But Hashem wants us back. He wants us back so badly that he's willing to take his own name, where it's clear in the Torah that you're not allowed to deface God's name, and he says, erase my name. Do things that are perhaps radical to reach out and try bring that person back into a healthy relationship. Try bring that person back to think clearly as a Jewish person should. And when we do that, clearly we have Hashem's blessings for all good things in our lives. Have a great Shabbos. Stay safe and stay sane.